Hi, Gian here. In the previous video, you learned how to set up your Android virtual device. So now, I'm going to show you how to create your very first project on Android. This video is a guide on how you can create your very first Hello World mobile project. By the end of this tutorial, you will be able to create your first project on Android and lay out your design for your project. On your screen, you can see the startup window when you open the Android Studio. First thing you need to do is to click on Start a new Android Studio project. Upon doing so, you are asked to select any template you like to start off your project. But since we're just going to create a simple Hello World application, click on Empty Activity and then click Next. Now in this section, you can configure your project. You can set the name of the project, which in this case, we would name Hello World. At this part, do not worry about casing or the space because you are just naming your project. You can also set the package name, location, and the language you will be using to run the Android, which is Java or Kotlin. For this instance, let's use Kotlin. And you can also set the minimum SDK or Android version that can run your application. For this sample, we will just choose the default options and just go with Kotlin. Then we can click Finish. Wait for the project to load until two files open by default. One is the activity_main.xml and the other one is MainActivity.kt. First, click on activity_main.xml, which is the layout of the user interface, the UI of the activity. Notice that there is already a pre-made Hello World text in there. You can click it and go to split view so you can see both the code on the left side and the design layout on the right side. Remove the text to assign an ID for it. To add an ID, you just add an attribute called Android ID and then assign it to it. Android ID @+ID/Hello Deloitte. Notice the @+ID/ we placed in there. That is how you add an ID on any element. Next, you can also add a button wherein if you press, instead of Hello World, the text Hello Deloitte comes in.
So, where do we find the button? By pressing the palette, you can see different elements that you can use on your screen, such as text view, button, image view, recycler view, and many more.
In this case, choose button and drag it to your screen. There may be an error in the code, but to fix that, just hover to the code where the error occurs and then click on Suppress Ignore Missing Constraints. You can also rename the button to Click Me. Now, let's go back to the second file, MainActivity.kt. This is where your Kotlin code and business logic comes in. We're just going to call the button to its ID, which is button, and then use the function setOnClickListener, where it runs whatever is inside its scope. Remember that we removed the text in our text view. So, to assign a new text for that, you will just call its ID, which we called Hello Deloitte, and then assign its text value by hellodeloitte.text equals Hello Deloitte. And then we're done coding. Now, we just need to run the app. To run the app, you might need a physical device or an emulator installed on your computer. When you're all set, you can click the Run button on the top corner. Here, you can see our app installed to the phone. So let's try if it works. And it works. It shows Hello Deloitte. And that's how you create your first Hello World project on Android. Through this video, you were able to 1. Create a project and lay out the design for the project. You are now ready to start exploring more of the configuration of the layout's user's interface, which will be the topic for our next tutorial. Thank you for watching and see you on our next video.